Hello and welcome to Jewellery Maker. My name is Eleanor and this is your design masterclass. I am joined by the very lovely Laura Binding. Hello Laura.
Hiya.
How are you?
Yeah, very good.
And it's my privilege to be doing this masterclass with you today, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
And we are going to be making, I hear, a fabulous peacock.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
A peacock brooch.
Peacock brooch. So what was your inspiration with this then, Laura?
Well, I had a really lovely kit a while ago and the components just said to me a peacock. So I went from that and created sort of almost a prototype, and then I was able to sit down and choose some really beautiful peacock classic colours, and we came up with that one.
And it is amazing. It is amazing, Laura. Look at the colours on that, and perfect peacock colours, I might add. So we've got two bundles that we're going to be showing you today. The first one we're going to be showing you is a chrysoprase, which is just, we don't see that very often on Jewellery Maker, do we?
No, it's beautiful stone.
Let's have a little look at this first strand. Look at that. Amazing. You've got 110 carats, and these are graduated faceted rondelles, and they are approximately 10 by 5 millimeters, an approximate 20 centimeter strand. Just beautiful peppermint greens, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
So pretty. And this is of course from our Gems of Distinction. So you are getting one of our high-end strands, and like I said previously, it is quality. You don't see it very often here, do you? So it's a real pleasure to be bringing those along to you. If you actually bought this on its own from the website, it would be £21.95. So you're going to be amazed with the price that we're going to be bringing you on this bundle. Right, can we bring in the next strand? Why not indeed. We have zoisite graduated faceted rondelles, and these are 8 by 4 millimeter. Now I'm just going to pick that one up individually as well, because this is a Gems of Distinction strand. Look at the sparkle coming off that. So two Gems of Distinction strands within the same bundle, and you're getting raspberry colours here and gorgeous ivy greens, ruby reds, and the sparkle that comes off them. If you actually buy that one individually off the website, you're looking at £12.95. So if you're adding these up in your head as we go along, you will be impressed by what we actually have to do. So two strands, moving on to the third one. Don't see this very often, and it's certainly one of my favourites. We've got your fluorite, and these are plain rondelles, so they're not faceted, but with this gemstone, this is, you know, exceptional quality here, and you can see the graduation in colours. You've got your lovely almost grape purples creeping in, then, and if you actually go down to sort of your very gentle greens, and your lavender purples as well, just really exquisite. I'm really excited to see how this is going to develop into our peacock. 3 strands, but we're not finished there. We are bringing you as well one of our cabochons. Now, these are just simply, it's like these have actually been cut especially for this design, because they are the perfect body shape. Hey, yeah, it takes up the whole of your peacock's body. Look at the colours on those. This is your fluorite, and it's approximately 40 by 30 millimetres. But the clarity there, and they really do complement these strands which I was just showing you, don't they? Really complement them. But we're not finished there. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 spools of wire to bring you. Laura Binding, as if we wouldn't give you some wire, Laura Binding.
It had to be done,
as if, as if. Okay, so we have got here 10 meters of your 0.4 turquoise wire, one of my favorite colors. Stunning. And we've got 10 meters of your 0.8 wire. And I'm going to be asking Laura how she builds structure with these, because she is, after all, the expert. We have the purple, 10 meters of your 0.6, and these really do complement the fluorite perfectly. Can you see just there, if I move my finger out the way? Matching that turquoise brilliantly. And here's the one everyone's after, and to bring that sparkle and that luster to your peacock, we have 10 meters of your 0.6 silver wire. In high demand, as you well know. So that's going to provide an awful lot of luster for your peacock. So you're getting all of these fabulous strands, 3 strands, 2 gemstone strands of a distinction, plus a fluorite cabochon, 2 spools of wire, and did I say 2? 4 spools, I beg your pardon. Silver plated findings. You've got approximately 100 pieces of silver plated findings along there as well, which Laura's going to show us what we can do with that. So an absolutely amazing deal there. So you've got your jump rings, you've got your crimp beads, your head pins, your heart toggles, you know, chain as well, round toggles as well. So you've got all you need there. I mean, I'm sure you'd have an awful lot of that left over after making this brooch, in actual fact. So let's see what amazing price we can actually bring in this. So Masterclass by Laura Binding, Peacock Brights this is called. So here's our price, £44.95. Now you can't say that ain't half bad, is it? You've got 2 gemstones of just distinction here, your fluorite strands, your rondelles, your cabochon as well, all that wire, and your cabochon being 40 by 30 millimetres alone, plus your findings for £44.95. And you're saving on this, it's not £10, it's not £15, you've got a £20 saving on all these items here. Now that is something special. And hopefully that is why you're tuning in to see we offer you some great deals, not only inspiration of Laura Bindings, but we want to give you good bargain prices as well for buying all these goodies. Laura, perhaps the colours within this actual bundle, was that inspired by your peacock?
Yeah, well, I love the turquoise colours anyway, but to me that's a classic. You always associate the sort of tealy purple colours with a peacock, so that's why I actually wanted to go for those, and the silver just gives it a little bit of brightness, really just lifts it up a little bit. So yeah, it was we just wanted it all to go together really nicely, and I think the whole lot go together really nicely regardless of whether you do the peacock or not. It's just the gemstones, they really complement, really go well together. Really complement.
And hey, little cabochon, that's what you're going to be turned into. Hey, that's what he's going to aspire to be one day. Hey, we're going to turn you into it. Don't you worry about it. Oops. So, if you're going to be making this fabulous peacock even. I'll get my words out in a second, Laura. Along with Laura Binding, you're going to need the tools for the trade, and we will provide you with those as well. So here's just another little look at there's your peacock. Peacock, I can't say it. Peacock. And here's our tool bundle. I'm going to bring this across. Oh, what do we have? Now this is special. This is really special because this one of the products actually within this bundle I know is of high demand and has actually been out of stock for quite some time, and I don't know if you know, a few of you may recognise my face from the building, so I do get to know what kind of products are missing and which kind of products have been requested. So the first one here is your ring mandrel. It's the multi-wire mandrel. Perfect. So yeah, you've got to love it in our branding as well, haven't you? So you're jewellery maker through and through. You know, that is really perfect for if you're making even rings, you know, for customers, and you're obviously taking their side. Laura, perhaps you can talk me through with the use of this.
I always have one with me because I find them really good for making clasps, for making earring findings, because of the different graduated sizes, which means that you've got consistency as well. So obviously if you're making earring findings, you want them both to be the same size. So I just tend to use like the second size up from the end. So they're really good for that. Obviously you've got all the different shapes, so they're good for creating different shapes, and it's just a really handy tool to have.
It's a handy tool. That's one thing I wouldn't have thought of actually, is for your earring findings.
I use it all the time. I've got one here, and I just tend to use this one here, the second from the bottom, and I just always makes perfect findings. They're also good for S-clasps as well when you make your own bracelets and things like that.
Fabulous. And obviously we're going to be seeing Laura using this tool when she's demonstrating her peacock, and she's given me some ideas there that I wouldn't have thought of using for your findings and things. So moving on, so you have your ring mandrel. We also have included is your, it is your double plastic mallet. Can be used for your jewellery making techniques. Of course will be used for your jewellery making techniques. Laura, what would you use this for? I know you're going to demonstrate it with us, just if you can...
Well, there's two types of mallet, so obviously there's the plastic one and there's the metal one. The difference being, the plastic one will strengthen, but it won't flatten. Okay. So obviously when you use the metal one, you can hit it and you can flatten and change the shape of the metal, but with that one, you actually just use it to strengthen the wire and to strengthen the structure. So you just gently hit it, and it will just, all it will do is it won't be anything noticeable, but it will physically make the piece stronger.
Fabulous. So, also included are not one, but two Y-Work DVDs. Now we've got Y-Work Edition 1 and Y-Work Edition 3. So within these DVDs, you're not just going to be learning one technique. There's, I would guesstimate, probably about 12 techniques, Laura?
There's 6 on the first one, and there's 4 on the, well, 5 on the third one. Okay,
so it's 11 techniques within these 2 DVDs. Now there is, you may be thinking 1 and 3, there is a justified reason for us not putting 2 within the bundle, and that is that Laura is going to be sharing a couple of the techniques today with you. So, altogether, let's bring in your price now. £14.95, that's 2 DVDs, your hammer and your mandrel. Now seriously, these DVDs are £4.95 each. So £14.95, you're paying, what? My math, a fiver for your mandrel and your hammer. And I'm sure you'll have a lifetime of use with these. I'm sure you will. How exciting. What we're going to do then is obviously nip over and see Laura, and she's going to talk us through her fabulous peacock. And I'm going to bring this over, Laura, because we don't want to leave him on his own. No. He's got a friend over there as well, isn't he?
A friend over here, yes.
Let's bring him over.
You can always say it's his girlfriend.
It's his girlfriend. Hello, Laura. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
It's a real pleasure to be with you today.
I'm working with you as well.
Ah, so we're usually sat at a desk at over a cup of tea. So this is really exciting. Okay, so your peacock, Laura.
Yes.
Going to talk us through.
I am.
Where would you actually begin with this little beauty?
Right, okay, so I'm going to show you how we actually start off, and what we're actually going to start off is with the head part of the peacock. Right. Okay, so we're actually going to, if I can just show you, we're actually going to start off doing this part. Yeah, he does that. All of this.
That looks the most complicated, I would say.
It's not that complicated. It's nice once you get started, it's fine.
Right, okay.
Don't worry, it's perfectly fine. All right. So what I'm going to do is start off, and this is what we use the 0.8 wire for, because the 0.8 wire is good for structure and strength, so as you can, you know, it makes it quite a sturdy piece then. Right. Okay. So I'm going to cut a length of wire off. Sorry. And this length of wire is probably about ½ a metre or so. I don't tend to measure my wire, as people know. I tend to just go by eye. But
I'd imagine when you get to your level of expertise, you can pretty much gauge it by eye.
I'm just used to it. And the thing is, if you've got too much, you can always put it to the side. If it's better to have too much than not
too
enough.
Little.
Yeah. So what this is going to do is actually going to start off by forming this part here. Okay. So I'm going to start off with his beak.
His little beak.
With his little beak. So I take my round nose pliers. And what I'm going to do is just fold the wire so the ends go together, and I'm just going to, almost like a fish, you can see there, pop my pliers in the middle and pull the wires nice. You can see there, I've pulled it so it's almost like a tiny little knot.
Yeah, perfect.
Put the pliers back in, and what I want to do is just bring one of the wires out, and as I do, I'm just kind of shaping it with my hand and my finger.
Is that the heat of your fingers that's smoothing it out there?
Yeah, the heat of your fingers will warm up the wire, which makes it more malleable. Right. So it makes it easier to work with, but 0.8 is really handy. You know, you can use it really well anyway. Okay. So you can see there, already starting to see the shape.
His little beak?
His little beak, and you can just play about with it until you're happy, and sort of squeeze it a little bit with the flat nose pliers until you're happy with the shape, all right? If I just hold that up, you can see. Okay.
That's it.
There you go. All right. So now, again, a lot of this is just shaping it with your fingers and just getting a general shape. You can draw a picture. You can go on the internet, search for pictures and get an idea of a picture, and then use that as a guide, you know, of peacocks, just so you can get a general idea. Yep. I
can just move you a little bit over this way, Laura. That's it.
There we go. All right. So again, just with my thumb now, I'm just forming a bit of the head shape now. Okay, all I did was just put my thumb in and just rub it.
Wow.
Okay, so now I just need to do his crest. I'm just putting my pliers in. Again, I do a lot of this by eye. So just bring it up, straight up. I'll take around his pliers. What I want to do is create sort of like a triple bubble effect. Yeah. So bend the wire back, reposition them. So they then go over. You can see that shape there. Pop them back in, bring the wire up.
So did you follow a picture or anything with this? Because I wouldn't be able to physically actually imagine what a peacock looked like.
I did have a picture, and I used it as a guide. So it was just a picture of a peacock with all of his feathers down. So I used that as a guide to get an idea of the shape of the head,
That's a really good
how
idea.
it looked, you know. So that I would recommend doing that.
Yeah.
If you
and I suppose that applies to when you're creating anything with wire. Really, I suppose it's good to have something to refer back to.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of it gives you an idea of the shape, you know, silly things like the way that the neck goes, and then as you're going, I just kept looking back at the picture, so I had something to say. Yes, I'm on the right track. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see now, I've done another part. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. I'm just going to put my pliers in. All I'm doing is wrapping the wire around to get the shape. And then I'll put the pliers back in again and bring it down. See there? If I hold it up, you'll be able to see. Can you see that?
Can you see? There you go.
All right, so that's it already.
He does actually look like he's got a little crest already.
And you just sort of bring it together, and we're going to, when we start weaving, we'll put some silver balls in there, and that will actually.
Yeah, I see those on the top of his head. I wonder if I could maybe do that.
There we go. And all I'm doing again is just forming the wire.
If I put that there, then you can.
You've got an idea then of where we're going.
See him a bit better there. There we go.
Okay, so
I've just we'll turn him round.
Oh, there he is. And so again, you just keep playing about until you're happy and you're sort of happy with the shape, and just bringing the wires, and you can see there you've got the shape. Okay. Then what we're going to do is, just so that I've got an idea. So obviously you can see on this one here, we've done the head, and then you've got where the cabochon is. Yeah. So we don't put the cabochon in until quite later on. Okay. We actually form a lot of the body first. So. But I do need to make sure that I can place it and form the shape around it. Okay. So I'm going to.
So you do it in the same. Are they all together, or are they separate parts?
It becomes together. It's done in sort of stages. Right. So I'm going to place that where I think it's going to be, so I can get an idea, and then just kick out the wires here, because what will happen is they will become the base of the body. So if I turn that over, you can see here the wires go around and actually form the base. Yeah. Okay, but I'm not going to do that just yet, because I want this open space to do the weaving. Right. All right. Oh, sorry, he was there for a reason. So now I'm going to use a 0.4 wire, and this is the technique that's on the DVD, which is why we've included that.
So do you use the 0.4 for the weaving then? Yes. Is there a reason why you'd use 0.4 rather than 0.8?
Because it's easier to use. You wouldn't be able to get the movement that you get with this wire is so flexible. It's more fluid, and if you were to use this wire, it just wouldn't have that same movement. It'd be really hard.
And assuming that 0.25 would be too fine to
you can use 0.25, but I tend to use that when I'm doing really close together weaving. Because this has got an open space, that's why I'm using the 0.4.
Okay.
And it's a little bit stronger as well, and it will hold like the netting here.
Yeah.
If you had 0.25, it may not be quite strong enough.
Right, that, yes, of course, in the knitting around. Right,
Okay.
Fabulous.
So again, I'm just cutting a nice length off. Again, probably about 1/2 metre, maybe a bit longer. What we're going to do is start wrapping just around the little beak bit here. Okay? So just putting the wire through, leaving a little tail of about 1 inch. I'm just going to wrap sort of about 3 or 4 times.
So just literally wrapping it around the end of his nose.
That's right, because I just want to anchor it. Beak.
Do peacocks have noses?
They can have. He's got a nose now. It's fine. So all I've done...
I have a little beak, sorry.
All I've done is wrapped it round about 4 times.
Okay.
And if you can just see there, I'll just hold that so you can see.
That's it, just hold that there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that tail there, and I'll cut that off when I've actually got the weaving established, but it's good to have it there. So...
Lovely.
Right, so the wire's coming through.
Yeah.
What I want to do is bring it to here, and I'm actually going to wrap it around. This is a little tiny bit fiddly just to start off with, just because it's quite a small area to hold.
Yeah, it's a small space.
So I've gone around once, and then brought the wire back through. Now it's back in the middle again now.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is bring it to the other side.
Right.
And wrap it over.
Okay, so
wire.
it's up and down, over and down again almost.
So I'm going over it. So it's like I do a wrap, and then I wrap to come bring it to the middle.
Okay.
So it's almost like a half wrap in the middle of each wrap.
Okay.
So I'll do a couple of these, and you'll be able to see. Okay, so I'm going through the middle again, and this is why we want this open, because there's nothing to block it. Obviously you can do it if it's fiddlier.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just...
So like a figure of 8. Almost.
It's like a figure of 8, but with an extra wrap in the middle. So the wire's in the middle again, so I'm just going to bring it to the top wire, wrap it around once, bring it back to the middle, and then over to the other side. And you'll start to see the weave form. So wrap it around once, back through to the middle, round to the other side.
Can we try tilt it that way a little bit, just so we can... That's it. Try, so if you can you try and...
Yeah. So I'll just undo that. So it's the wire's in the middle now. So over this wire once.
Okay.
All the way around. And what I do is I just push it nice and tight up with my finger.
So it stays all firm, right?
And then back to the middle. And it's going to go to the other side.
To the other side.
Okay. There. And then I want to wrap it again. So it's wrapped around once. All the way around. Back through the middle. And then to the other side.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to keep doing that wrap. And you'll do it really quick. And then...
So what would happen because this might be I'm just picturing this might be something I would do, Laura.
Right.
Is maybe what happens if you do it too tight? I assume you can just...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you pull this wire really tight, you can it will, in effect, make the wires go like this.
Yeah.
And you'll lose your shape.
Yeah.
It's just, you can retweak it as you're going along. But what I do is I actually hold...
The end of his beak.
The end of it, and then I'm keeping that tension and keeping it steady. I'm keeping the wires in place.
Okay.
So as I weave, and the weave gets bigger, I keep holding it, and it will keep those wires in place.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, brilliant.
If you do end up bringing it close together, just undo it, reshape it, and then start again.
Okay,
but it's preferable
you can always
not
start
to.
over.
Yeah. So what I want to do now is just pop on a little silver bead, which is why we've got...
the first bead.
It's a little silver one, though, that's why we've got the findings kit included.
Is that his eye?
No, it's just... I don't know, it's just a decorative part of his bead.
His eye's
going to be a gemstone.
Oh, the fluorite's his eye.
Yeah. Okay, so just wrap it around.
Just hold that up for you.
All I did was put that bead on the wire and then continue to weave as normal. So you just do that a couple of times, and then you add on the eye as well, which it can be any stone you want. Okay, so in this case I'll just choose a fluorite.
He's upside down again.
Okay, and again just thread the bead on and position it where you want it to go, and then just continue to weave. All right, so I'm just going to do now is bring the wire up just to show you how I add the beads onto the crest, because what you do with this is you just keep doing that all the way down to the neck. But what we do, bring the wire up to this part here, and actually all you're going to do is just wrap the wire a couple of times around the whole of it.
Right, okay.
Okay, until you get up to this part here. And then I'm going to pop on a silver bead and just place it.
Another one of the silver beads.
Just place it there.
They look really lovely with that turquoise wire, the silver beads, don't they?
It really brightens it up.
It really does, yeah.
Just hold it in place with your thumb and then just wrap it around the frame just to secure it into place.
So is that kind of almost like sewing around it?
Yeah, very similar, yeah. Okay, so then bring the wire back through to the middle. Whenever I do any coils, I just scoot it all along with my thumb just to keep it all nice and tight.
Yeah.
Pop another bead on. Position that one. So it's just up there.
That's it. Can you hold it up? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to, again, almost sew that on.
Almost through the middle.
Yeah, through the middle, and then just hold it in place with your fingers. When you're happy with that, just sew it back on. And then just pop the last one on. And place that one there. You can see already how that's just formed. And then with that, now what we want to do is bring this wire back down here so we continue to weave in.
Right, okay, down his neck.
Yeah, so just wrap it around a couple of times so that's nice and secure. And then just bring it down, straight down, because you've wrapped the front, you can't see. So straight down to the front, to the back.
Can you just hold that up for the camera? There you go.
That's the back.
That's the back.
And just bringing that wire straight down.
If we just show the front. There we go.
Oops, there he is.
Ah, so you can see it taking shape really quickly, can't you?
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
And then you just bring the wire and then you're back where you started and then you just continue to weave in.
Weaving down his neck. Is that using the figure of 8?
Yeah. And just exactly the same as what we've done there, and then we'll just do that all the way down here. Okay, and with this one, what I did was I just taken my flat nose pliers, I just scrunched the bead just to give it a bit of, to make it flat and just to give it a bit of texture.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one I did earlier.
He's oh look!
He's already ready, except for I didn't do his crest. But
there's going to be lots of little peacocks running around JM.
All right, so you can see.
I'm Bagsying one.
So you can see all I've done is just continue that weave all the way down to the neck.
Yeah.
And now I've got these wires here. Okay.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do is taking the cabbage on. I want to just form a frame now. Okay. So what I want this frame to do is just sit around the inside of this cabochon. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be neat, okay? So if you can see that, it's just the frame there, and then once you're happy with that, what we're going to do is just twist the wires.
Oh, okay,
together.
So is that building strength, assuming
yeah, it's just
for his body?
a bit of strength and it just to keep its shape.
Yeah.
So, and then just snip that off. So whenever you do any kind of cutting, I always cut at the top of the work.
Why is that?
Because if I cut on this side, then there's a risk of it catching on a clothing or on skin if it's like a necklace or anything.
So it wouldn't actually scratch your body or anything like that?
Because although we keep the ends as tidy as you can, sometimes if you've missed it, but if you've done it on a and this will also get hidden, because you see here, you can't see any of the wire work.
Yeah, so it keeps it all nice and tidy.
Yeah. Okay, and again, so and all I'm doing is just twisting these wires together in effect. Okay, and exactly the same. I'm
just going to show while you're doing that, Laura. I'm just going to bring in your peacock's girlfriend. It's a different colour. Look at he's got a girlfriend. Yeah. No, Chloe thinks this is William.
Right.
And this is Kate.
Aww.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. I should have done them in opposite direction.
Yeah, so we could put them kissing. Let's have a little look at the bundle for Kate. I'll bring these across. So, as an alternative, if you perhaps you're not feeling the turquoise, I don't know why, because it is stunning, but we do actually have an alternative for that. And this bundle includes some of my favourite gemstones. Again, we've got your rose quartz, rounds. Yeah, these are rose quartz, star rose quartz, I beg your pardon. And these are approximately 8 millimeters, but a beautiful colour with those as well, and lots of gemstones there. And I would say, a dusky pink. Yeah. It's not too pastel-y. We've also got some amethyst strands, February's birthstone with that one there, and these are 140 carats, much like your rose quartz, and again 8mm. So I imagine they'd create a little bit of a different look with your peacock, because you've got some rondelles in the other one. And then bringing in to add in some luster and sparkle, we've got your clear quartz irregular faceted beads. These are really beautiful. Really beautiful, because before we actually tuned in, we were looking at these thinking, what sort of shape are they? But they give off amazing luster and sparkle, which would just look beautiful in those brooches. Beautiful colour combination. And of course, for your peacock's body, we have your rose quartz cabochon. There it is. Really beautiful, and that goes really well with your gemstones. Yeah, we were having a little vote earlier which one we prefer, and Ryan's going for the pink. Scott went for the pink.
But I think he changed his mind, didn't he?
Did Scott change his mind? He changed his mind. Well, I'm sticking with the pink. I like the pink. Although I have to say, fluorite is one of my favourites. Okay, so much like the other bundles, we are bringing you the findings pack. So you've got 100 pieces of rose gold plated copper findings, and obviously in there you've got your chain, your heart toggle clasp, your bolt ring clasp, your shepherd's hook, your crimp beads as well. So it's all in there. Let's move that. And, because we wouldn't do it for one bundle and then not the other, 4 spools of wire. Can I move this across without them knocking? Here we go. Here we go, look at that. So you've got your amazing fuchsia pink on top. So the 0.8, 10 metres of 0.8 wire, and Laura was just showing there that she used that for the body of William, the peacock. And then we've got 10 metres of 0.4 in your pale pink, which adds a bit of definition there. And we've got, back to the fuchsia again, we've got 0.6, back to the fuchsia.
Oh dear.
So we could name a kit. I'm going to name a kit that. Here we are, 0.6 of your fuchsia wire again. And to add that luster, like we had the silver in the turquoise bundle, we've got your gold wire. So 10 metres of 0.6 again there, which Laura's going to be showing what to do that with. So let's have a little look what price we can bring this in at. Let's have under £40. Masterclass Peacock Feathers, this is called, at £34.95. You don't get much better than that. And you've got your amethyst, your rose quartz cabochon, 100 findings and 4 spools of wire. £20 saving for those, for tuning in for this Designed by Masterclass by Laura binding. And you know, you've got the lady herself teaching you, holding your hands step by step as you go along the way. So great deal there, don't you think?
It's an amazing deal.
Really good. I'm liking Kate.
Yeah. Well,
I'm feeling Kate.
Just to point out.
$34.95. Masterclass by Laura binding peacocks and feathers, and $44.95 for
Peacock, right.
for William. For William. He's a little bit more expensive, but he's worth it, and he's the heir to the throne. So you know. You'd expect that. You'd expect that, and with the gems of distinction as well. Okay, so Laura, sorry.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to point out what you were saying about the 2 different colours having fuchsia. Because we've used turquoise and turquoise on William. Yeah. Obviously, it remains one colour, but because I've used the soft pink over the fuchsia, it just changes the colour.
It really does,
of the actual. Oh, where is she? There she is.
There
so
she
just
is.
to say, I've actually used the fuchsia as the frame, but you can see
that's a really good idea, and assuming you could do that.
With any colours.
With any of the colours.
So I just wanted to point out because you were showing her.
Yeah, showing Kate off. Brilliant.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I've created the body, okay, and what I've done is I've placed the cabochon on so it's going to fit just over it like that, okay? I'm not actually, again, not using the cabochon just yet, but I need to keep checking it for measurements. Right. Okay? What we're going to do now is actually start all of the feather part of it. Okay. All right? I actually did use 0.8, 0.6. Well, I used all of the colours basically, but you don't necessarily have to use the 0.8 for this. You could use. Oh no, I'm lying. You do. It's because I wanted the blue. It's because it's in 0.4. Sorry. what I'm doing...
So you're taking quite a length of wire off there, then?
I need quite a long length, because what I want to do is start from here and work to here, hopefully on the same piece of wire. Okay. If you don't do it all in one, it's not a problem.
No, and you are actually getting the 40 metres as well, so you know, you've got more than enough.
Definitely.
And I'm assuming you'd probably have leftovers.
I've got loads. I've actually managed to make out of this William and all of the pre-preps and still have a little bit left as well.
Really?
Just one
so
bundle.
You could probably make 2?
Yeah. Make 2, even 3 maybe.
3 Williams for £44.95. Yeah, we like that.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to secure this wire. Now it is the 0.8 wire, so it's a little bit harder to
actually twist round.
Yeah. But it is fine. And like I said, this part all goes underneath, so it's not too, don't worry about it being too neat.
I notice you're using your fingers. Is that just because you prefer to...
I think it's just habit.
Habit.
But I'm using my pliers to make sure I get a good tight anchor onto the actual frame. So it's just preference, but I want that to be secure. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just...
So if you prefer to use your round nose pliers then?
Yeah, you can use your pliers. Okay, so I've just joined that on there, so the wire's coming out just like this, okay? And this is where this tool comes in handy.
Wow, the mandrel.
The mandrel. And so I used basically the small one on the end and then the next size up. I'll just turn that to the side so you can see this one here. Right. And this one here. Okay, and I did do a couple of different sizes throughout it just to give it a bit of texture really. Yep. So what I'm going to do is what you've got to think is it's going to twist, it's going to go a little bit shorter once you've twisted it. So you want sort of the rough length that you want it to be. Then just using my fingers, I'm just going to bend that wire out. Okay, and then just simply, you need to get this about halfway, so I can just see if we can show this properly. I'll do it on a larger one just so you can see. I want that sort of to go about halfway, and then I'm just going to wrap it around, all the way around.
So you're wrapping it all the way around?
So you can see there.
If you can just hold that there, that's it.
So you can see why I needed it to sit halfway across. Yeah. So that now...
So you can meet it in the middle. Okay, so you're making a sort of triangular shape, or well, square, but...
Well, it's a triangle.
It is a triangle, there you go.
So when you take it off, that's the shape that you've got.
Almost like an arrow. Yeah, and
basically, this is what it's all going to be. Every single one that has been done will be done using that, and then it gives that sort of consistent look as well.
Okay, wow.
The other little handy thing about doing that, so I'm just putting this here and leaning against the wire so it doesn't get in the way, this is almost like a little handle, so that when I want to twist the wire now, so I'm going to bring the wire up here and then twist, but I'm using this almost as a handle.
Oh, that's clever. So you're twisting the actual arrowhead almost, if for want of a better word.
Yeah, if you think...
To actually twist the wire down.
Because if you think of when you have a gizmo, you use the sort of rod handle. It's the same sort of fingers you
same
to hold.
technique.
Yeah. So then.
See, I wouldn't think of that, Laura.
I did just kind of stumble across it, to be honest.
And been wrapping around. I wouldn't think of that.
I stumbled upon it, but that's fine. So then I'm just going to bring the wire around, wrap it around once or twice to bring it into the next position that I want it, and I'm going to repeat with that. So I'll just do a couple. So again, just kick it out, and you can just place it on. Yeah. It doesn't have to be tidy because it just gives it an organic look. It's just as a guide. And then you take that off and bring the wire back up.
And do that twist in action.
Yeah, but what I want to do is bring the wire so that you've got the frame is almost caught between the 2 wires. Okay. So if I can just show that. So if you can see, the wire goes behind, but I want this wire to go in front.
Okay, is there a reason for that?
Just that it just grips it better when it's twisted, and it just makes it secure.
So it's all about strength again.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're twisting your little arrowhead again.
Yeah. And it gives a nice consistent twist there.
There we go. So assuming I suppose to get the characteristics of the peacock itself, you're actually going to do them at alternate lengths then as well. Is that sort of at random, or do you actually have a...
I do just kind of do it at random, but I stagger it. So I basically do 5 of the teal colour, and I actually want the turquoise, and I want these ones to be the sort of more obvious ones. Okay. So I kind of do graduate it down. So I'll have a long one here, and then I'll go back up. So if you can see it goes short, longer, long, longer, short.
Okay, so the shorter ones being at the front.
Yeah, I wanted it to have like a layered effect as well.
And it does, it really does create that layered effect.
So I would have done that all together with all of that, and I carried that around. I'm going to go cut this off. And then obviously I would have had my first layer.
Lovely.
Then I do the second layer, which I did using the silver, which I have
silver, we've lost the silver wire.
That's fine, it's fine.
We've lost the silver wire, Ryan.
It's fine. I'll just do it with the purple instead, because the purple and the silver are both 0.6 wires, so it doesn't make a difference. All right. It's just
we can improvise.
Colours. Just different colours.
Just different colours, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, you just repeat exactly the same. So all I would do there is just attach it, bring it down towards the middle of the gap. This is why we want a nice little gap between the first layers. Bring it into the middle and repeat.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would just do exactly the same. So then you just do that all the way around.
Repeat around. And approximately how many of the times have you done that? I mean,
I've done 3 layers.
Kate's got more feathers, hasn't she? But that's probably through choice, I would say.
Well, it's just, yeah, I just go by eye, really. Just do it.
She's more, because ladies are more decorative.
You just kind of go until you're happy.
Maybe that's William, you know, just because it's pink, I shouldn't assume that he doesn't like
you're going to do layers. So I've done my first layer, which is the blue, my second layer, which was the silver, and my third layer, which was the purple. And then by doing that, it gives you all of the sort of, you can bring them out and you can play about, position them however you want. And yeah, you can make it as full or as light as you want it to be.
As you want it to be. Okay. Yeah. If you want something, if you're going to a wedding or something, you want something really heavily embossed for a statement piece, or perhaps to go on a hat. Perhaps ascot. Ascot's coming up soon.
It'd be lovely on a
that would be really nice, wouldn't it? On a fascinator, that would be lovely. So you can have it really heavily gem embellished then, I assume.
And what you can do is, because you've layered it, you can kind of give it this kind of 3D effect.
3D effect.
So really sort of play about with it and
make it stand
out.
Really
make it stand out. So
it's really beautiful.
You can really have a play about with it. See?
Lovely.
All right. So I've done that, and I've done all of that now, and you can see just how it's starting to look and sort of take shape now.
Yeah, he is taking shape, yeah.
Now I just need to do his feet. I would do them in silver, but I've mislaid that, so I'll do it in purple.
Okay.
I am doing it in the 0.6 wire.
Okay, is there a reason why it's 0.6 rather than 0.8?
I chose it on this one because it was the silver one. I just wanted him to have silver feet.
Oh, fair enough.
Basically, that's the only reason.
Adds a bit of sparkle.
Yeah. So I've just taken off a length. I probably would want a longer length than that, but that's fine, about 1/2 metre.
Okay. Again,
just wrap it and anchor it on. This one you'll find I can do a lot easier without my pliers because it's a finer wire. Okay. And then,
lovely.
What I want to do, again, this is by eye. A lot of people, you can actually measure it if you wanted to. But what I want to do is bring it down, and again, I'm going to twist it. Okay. So pop the pliers in. By putting the pliers in, it almost gives him a foot.
Ah, and it does.
All right, and again, it gives you a little something to
just hold that up.
Hold on to.
There you go. There's his little foot.
Little foot. And then just twist it.
And you twist it again, same as you did with the arrowheads.
Yeah, but I don't want to go all the way up to the top because I don't know the technical name of it, but the peacocks have that kind of little feather on their ankle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so to do that, just done a couple of twists.
Pop quiz.
Yeah.
What's the little feather on the back of a peacock's foot?
Okay, so again, it's just about forming it with the pliers, really. Just taking the wire out.
Chloe thinks it's a feather foot.
Well, I think it should be a feather foot.
Feather foot.
Feather foot.
Feather foot.
So you can see there, I've just done a little tiny loop.
We see that there.
Can you see that?
That's it.
Okay, and then carry on twisting. And you can use your pliers if you're struggling to get a nice twist. That's it. I'm just seeing if I've got. There we go. Oops, without undoing that one. So just there we go. And then you just carry that right on up. That's it. Sorry, I just couldn't see which way I was twisting.
Going back to what I was saying, it's, you know, because I'm not, and a lot of people in the office actually make fun of me, of my wire work, frankly, because I'm not the best with it. But assuming that if you were maybe at a basics, then you could, and you did make a mistake. Yeah. Just go back. You can just go back to it, unravel it, go back to it. You know, it's there's 40 meters of wire actually within this bundle, both bundles, I beg your pardon. both the Peacock Bright and Will. Sorry, I've forgotten what Will's called. Will's
Peacock Brights.
Peacock Brights is Will. And Peacock Feathers is Kate, sorry. So you're getting 40 metres of wire with both of those bundles. So, you know, you've got enough to play around with. And you said you could probably get 3 peacocks out of that anyway.
Probably, yeah.
So, okay.
All
so
right.
I might just have a go at this, you know, Laura. I might just have a go.
I've done one foot here. I mean, obviously you shape it about and you play about with it until you're happy. And then you just repeat down with this one, exactly the same. Yeah. All right, and that's all it is. And then that's his feet attached. All right.
Can you just hold his little foot up there?
Yeah.
That's it. Foot. There's his little foot.
And then you just repeat with this piece of wire, which is the same piece of wire. I've just wrapped it around the frame.
Okay, so you're going to wrap this bit of wire around his foot as well?
No, I've just wrapped it around the frame here.
Oh, around his body. Okay.
Off his body, yeah. And then bring it back down and repeat exactly the same as you just did.
Okay.
All right. So that's his feet done. And now what I want to do is show you how I net in his body.
This looks really tricky to me.
It's not actually that. No, it's not really that tricky, and it's actually again a technique that's covered on this third DVD again, which is why we included it.
That cabochon, you know, it's a large stone. Yeah. 40 by 30 millimeters. Yeah. You know, that looks so secure, and it's almost, you know, you've encased it into your peacock there, haven't you? Yeah. He's lovely.
Okay. So what I'm going to do
right there
is cut off a nice length of wire. And you do need quite a lot of wire for this because I want to go around the stone 3 times. So I'm going to do this weave and actually go around 3 times with the same piece of wire, preferably. Okay. All right.
So it's a knitting effect almost.
It is. It's like I think it's lace netting.
Lace netting.
All right. So I'm just going to cut this off because it's just going to get in my way.
Okay.
So what I want to do now is at the neck part, I'm just going to attach the wire.
So you're anchoring it onto, is that by his neck?
By his neck, yes.
Just hold that there.
Just a couple of wraps.
Literally two wraps. Yeah. 2-3 wraps?
About 2-3 wraps.
Okay.
Okay. Then, what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to start the weave without the cabochon in it because the first layer won't actually hold it in anyway.
Okay. Now this sounds tricky.
It's not really. So I'm just happy that that's going to sit nicely there. You can see it's going to sit nicely. Right. And again, this technique is on the third DVD. So I'm just going to show, the trickiest part of this is here when you hit this part, just because you've got to kind of work through these, but you can do it, it's just got to be a bit patient. Right. So the wire is actually on the front of the frame, coming up. So what I want to do now is taking the end of the wire, going to thread it through
his body,
and then I'm just going to literally, can see, I'm just literally going to pull it up, and all I'm doing as I'm going is just positioning that wire to make sure it doesn't catch on anything. Okay. Okay. Can we just hold that there? There you go. All right. Lovely. And then you just pull it gently until you've got the size that you're happy with. So okay. So you're you're not tightening that. You are doing sort of. It needs to be. It is going to be the netting itself. It needs to be the netting. So a little circle. Yeah. Okay. And then this is all it is. It's just so again now back underneath and through the frame. Yeah. And again, just pulling it, and you just see little tricks, like I'm just putting my finger here to just hold it and help guide it. Yeah. And reposition it every time. Yeah. And then just pull it until you're happy. And that is literally all it is, and you'll go around all the way around. Let's hold that one. It's really clever. Okay, so you're just repeating that action all the way around. All the way around. And like I said, it is a bit tricky when you get here because you've just got to dodge through it, but it's just about being patient and guiding the wire. Right. Okay. So approximately how many loops would you do on that first one before you introduce the cabochon? Just keep going. Oh, you do a complete round. A complete circle of your... And so when you're back here, then you place that on. Okay. Then you just keep repeating. Then you'd repeat what you've just done. Yeah. Right. Okay. Exciting. And like I said, that is all on the third DVD. That technique in depth is on the third DVD. Third, second? Third. Third. Okay. Third. So you can see here, what I've done is I've done the first layer, then I put the cabochon in, and then I just went round and did that. So what I want to do now is just show you quickly how I did the wing part of it. Yeah. and then I'll be able to just show you the brooch, and then that will be him done.
He's almost complete.
It's nearly done. So I mean, he looks nice just like that. But
he does.
I wanted to give that kind of feather because he's got the wing effect. That's all. This is
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So this your knitting, is that what you called it?
Netting.
Netting, I beg your pardon. Your netting here, this is actually forming his wing.
Okay.
Oh, I held him the wrong way. Bless him. Lovely.
So you can see here he's actually already held in, and he's held in nice and secure just by that netting. So this is just more decorative, but it's extra strength as well.
If it was actually, say, still a bit loose, would you just keep continuing?
Yeah,
and is that 3 layers?
Yes. I'll just see if you can get a nice close up. You'll see the bottom layer here.
I think.
There.
1,
2,
3. That's it.
All right.
Maybe just hold it down flat again. There we go.
All right.
Okay, brilliant.
So now I just want to make this wing. So what I want to do is start from the top, and again I'm just going to add a new piece of wire about 1/2 metre. And what I'm doing is just going to attach that. So
you're actually latching onto the back of your peacock there?
Just onto the left side of his neck.
On the left side?
Because I want the wing to be down here.
Okay, down his back?
Yeah.
Right.
So the difference with this technique, it's the same technique, but the difference is I'm not going to just do loops. I actually want to, this is like a Viking knit technique now.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just bringing that wire, it doesn't matter, it's going to go over the, it's just bringing it straight across here. And what I want to do, oops.
It's fiddly, isn't it?
It's a bit fiddly, it's only because I'm trying to get it so I can show you, is I actually want to go, so I've got here, I've got the crosses.
Yeah.
And I want the wire to just go behind those crosses. In fact, I'm going to just show it down here because it's easier. So you can see how...
If we hold it down a little bit more flat, can we see that? There we go.
Can you see that? And let me just... If you...
That's it. Perfect. If you can.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry. And sometimes if you're struggling, you can kind of make a hook out of the wire.
That's a good idea, isn't it? Yeah.
So
you're not...
I'm just trying... Obviously, I'm trying to show you this at a bit of a funny angle, but that's fine. There we go. There we go. All right.
I see, yeah.
And then that's just gone behind the cross. Okay, can you see that now?
Yeah.
All right, and then just pull it. And again, it's just going to form that loop. But the difference is that loop is actually behind that cross now.
Oh yeah, it has literally sat right in front of it, isn't it? Literally sat.
If you could be my second hand and hold that.
If I hold him like that, you can see, there we go, if I hold that, Laura, does that make it?
Yeah, that makes it easier.
And you're literally threading it through.
But it's going behind that cross. Just trying to make a hook of this. Obviously, you won't be doing it like this at home, so it will be a lot easier for you. And then it just goes behind, like that. There you go. You can see that?
Okay. There's his little wing starting.
All right, and so you basically are going to, and all you do is this a couple of times. So I'm just going to go a couple more times.
Yeah. And
if you want to give it something a bit different, you can skip one out and just go to the one behind it, and then that will give it a bit of difference.
Yeah.
Oops. And just by missing one out, you'll just see the difference effect it shows. So
if you find that your wire is sort of fraying or not pushing, should you just like sort of
just cut it,
snip the end off it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about your gemstones?
Yeah, and so that's that part there. You just continue like that. Gemstones are so easy. Again, piece of wire, and I tend to take a long piece and then I can cut it as I go. You simply wrap around the top part of the arrow, pop on a bead, any bead, and they will all go on fine. This has just gone a little bit bent. This is where, like you say, you would just cut it and just sit it inside. If it's the rondelles, you can pull it to the side so it sits just like that. Wrap it round a couple of times. Wrap it around, say twice. I'm going to cut that off because I don't need that long. Twice.
I notice in a couple of these you've actually got two of your gemstones in there as well.
Yeah, just give it a bit of a different look.
That's really lovely.
And there you go, and that's one attached there. And you just do that with all of them. And very quickly I'll show you the brooch. I used a 0.8 wire on that. And it's a length of wire put your round nose pliers right in the middle of it and go all the way around, take them out, pop them back in and go around, just push them like that. It's almost like a safety pin, if you can see that.
Oh, it is.
It's just like a safety pin.
Perfect little baby's nappy safety pin
it's just a safety pin, see? Okay, and all you do with that is, oops, that's the one I already made. Just pop it on the back, thread it one bit through all the way to the other side.
Can we hold that up?
Yep, so I'm just putting it on like that. Okay, and just threading it through to the other side and using this length here to pop it on. Wrap it around once. And then you just literally bend it like this, and that's going to create the hook part.
Can we, sorry, Laura.
Yep.
Just show.
There we go.
So you've sewn that almost through the bottom by the cabochon.
Yep.
And then just twisted the top.
Yeah, and just wrapped it around the frame once, and then that you just cut at an angle and it becomes the brooch.
How clever's that? I'm just going to show how easy that is. You know, it's a perfect little pin.
I know it's done in a bit of a rush, but you know, you can take time.
Wow.
And cut the wire at an angle, and you have and file it if you want to, and you have a nice sharp edge.
Really clever. Okay.
And that's it.
And that is Will and Kate. There. We'll bring them, if I just, can you just hold?
Yes, Will.
We'll hold them up for you again here. Just really beautiful colours that you've chosen there. And you could be so creative in terms of colour-wise, couldn't you?
Definitely.
Or maybe the monochrome, that could look quite special with your black wire and silver wire. Mix a bit of blue and a bit of pink.
Bit of cream.
You could have a bit of chartreuse. You could have gold. You know, the world is your oyster really when it comes to wires, and you know the gemstones will always look fabulous in any item of jewellery. This is beautiful, beautiful. I'm just going to recap on the bundles that we've got here. Peacock Brights, and I'm going to reintroduce those for you. We have your chrysoprase, your rondelles, those beautiful spearmint greens, and it's no less a gems of distinction. Our other strand of gems of distinction is your zoisite, and these are faceted rondelles again, so you're getting amazing shimmer and sparkle off them, and raspberry greens. We're also getting your fluorite, which you don't see very often, and these are rondelles as well. 4 spools of wire, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, in various different gauges, and your beautiful cabochon, fluorite cabochon there, which is approximately 40 centimetres by 30, and 100 findings, no less, of your silver-plated copper findings, and all that for £44.95 with a £20 saving, which is just amazing. Okay, and your second bundle, which was our Kate, we had your amethyst plain rounds, really beautiful purple grape tones. We have your rose quartz 8mm rounds, and your really beautiful clear quartz irregular faceted beads. Now I really love these. I think they're just exceptional. Plus your rose gold copper plated findings, your rose cabochon as well, and 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 spools of wire. And that was, again, with a £20 saving at £34.95. Just amazing. Laura, firstly, thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
It was really inspirational, and I might have a little go at making a Kate and Will tonight. Really gorgeous. And would you know, the bundles that you've offered, I've also not recapped on the bundles that we had. The mandrel, the codes are at the bottom, so do feel free to call about those. If you do actually do any of these, enter them into the Wall of Fame. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon in maybe Laura's next workshop. Bye.